talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Art Lewis Show from my home studio. Nice to have you with us. Our show is sponsored by The Point and Pinnacle Realty in Saginaw, Linda Shepard. We thank her very much for that. And this morning we'll have open phones later on in this hour and all of next. We will talk about Pit and Balcony Theater during Focus this morning after the 11 o'clock news. But we're going to start out by talking about water. Water everywhere and not a drop to spare, as they say. From the Food and Water Watch, the Public Water for All campaign director, Mary Grant, joins us this morning. Mary, good morning to you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I want to start out because there was a drop-dead date, if you will, on water shutoff moratoriums, which was the end of March. Has that been extended in Michigan?
No, unfortunately, I know folks are working really hard to try to get an extension, but it did not pass in time. So the moratorium on water shutoffs in Michigan has expired.
And we should point out this is nothing the governor can do because the Supreme Court had knocked down her attempt to do that previously, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Last fall, the Supreme Court knocked down several of her orders, including the water shutoff moratorium. But the state legislature was able to scramble and put in place another moratorium that went into effect at the end of December, and that just expired on.
All right, so in reading some of the materials about this, there appears to be a connection between the water shutoffs and COVID-19. Can you explain that?
Sure. So from the very beginning, one of the CDC's, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's top recommendation was to wash your hands to help prevent the spread of disease. So from the very beginning, we've been calling for a nationwide moratorium just as a public health protection. Everyone needs water at home, wash your hands, flush your toilets, cook food for your kids, just make sure that people are safe and sound during the pandemic. Well, we're working with some researchers. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish up. No, please.
Oh, no. So we worked with some researchers from Cornell and asked them to take a look at this. We've been tracking local and state moratoria nationally since the beginning, since March. So hundreds of localities, dozens of states issued local and state moratoria. And so they looked at that and they studied it, looking at how it impacted COVID cases and COVID deaths. And they found that locations that had a moratoria in place had significantly lower COVID cases and COVID deaths after they adjusted for all sorts of different factors like mask mandates and hospital care. So they found a significant association, and they've estimated that had there been a nationwide moratorium, as many as nearly 500,000 COVID infections and more than 9,000 COVID deaths may have been prevented.
Does the federal government not have a role in this? Can they not institute a water shutoff moratorium?
They could. We actually have been calling for them to do that from the beginning. Our legal team drafted an executive order that President Biden could issue to impose a nationwide water shutoff moratorium. It's basically the CDC has imposed a moratorium on evictions using that same authority CDC did last year to impose that eviction moratorium. They could expand it too. So they have the legal authority to take actions that can help prevent the spread of disease, including making sure that people have water at home so they can wash their hands.
Tell us about the Food and Water Watch, the organization itself. What is it and what's its mission?
So we're a nationwide U.S. organization focusing on making sure that people have access to safe food, healthy water, healthy food, safe water, and looking at the impacts of climate change. So we champion both to the most pressing food, water, and climate problems of our time.
And the Public Water for All campaign, that is what?
So Yeah, sure. I work with our organizers across the country on campaigns to support public control of water resources and safe and affordable access to water. So we work at the federal level, the state level, and the local level, bringing people, just making sure that people can connect with their elected officials and make sure that they have the resources they need and access to safe and affordable, healthy water.
How are we doing as a nation in terms of providing, safe and healthy water?
The American Society of Civil Engineers has given us a C- grade. So that's a little bit of improvement from the last grade they gave us for our drinking water systems. But we still have a lot of work to do. Our water systems nationwide need $35 billion each and every year just to comply with existing federal standards. And these standards are getting more stringent as we learn more and more about the contaminants in our water. Like PFAS, that's a big issue in Michigan. These are the toxic forever chemicals. The more we test for it, the more we find. They're associated with like firefighting foams, Teflon manufacturing, and they don't break down naturally. So as we set stronger standards to remove these toxic our water systems, we're going to need to make a bigger and a bolder investment in our infrastructure. There's lead pipes across the country. Michigan has the third most lead pipes in the lead service lines in the country. So we need to make a lot of investments in our communities, make sure that people have access to safe water, that we don't have sewage spills, that we don't have lead pipes, and so that people can just have safe and reliable water service at home.
So I have to believe you're pleased with the proposed infrastructure bill, which would provide money to remove lead pipes.
Yeah, that's pretty much in the ballpark of what we need lead service lines in the country. So the Biden administration has proposed $45 billion to remove all lead service lines in the country. The best estimate we know for the cost of doing that and where they are is from the American Water Works Association. Back after the Flint water crisis, they did a big study and they found that there's thousands of lead service lines across the country. So that's when I said that Michigan had the third most. That's based on the study from the American Water Works Association. And they estimated that back in 2016, so that's 5 years ago, that the total cost of replacing all lead service lines would be about $30 billion. So it does seem like that one-time infusion of money would be sufficient to help make sure that people don't have lead pipes going into their homes.
All right, so let's. I want to go back to the beginning and the issue of moratoriums on shutoffs. Is there a movement to regenerate it in the Michigan legislature?
I think there is. I think the state senator Stephanie Chang has proposed a bill that folks are working on to have passed so that it would be reimposed in Michigan. Michigan's one of the states nationwide that big uptick in COVID cases right now. So just really, I think for you all, it's like in Michigan, it's like the third wave of COVID cases. Nationally, we're seeing the fourth wave come, driven largely by younger kids that possibly, so there is a movement in Michigan. I know that a lot of groups are working on it, like the People's Water Board in the Detroit area. We, the People of Detroit, Michigan Welfare Rights Organization, are advocating and working really hard right now with the state legislature trying to pass that statewide moratorium again.
All right. Well, Mary, listen, we thank you for spending a little time with us this morning to talk about the situation. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Bye.
Mary Grant, and she is with an organization called Food and Water Watch, and she is the Public Water for All campaign director. We thank her for joining us this morning. We will move into our open phone mode now for the remainder of the program, right up through 11 o'clock. Lines are open for you at Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free, 866-790-WSGW inside the state of Michigan. If you're outside the state of Michigan, you can give us a call at 989-752-6111. And it's time to play the WSGW Spring Into Cash contest. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following winning word online at WSGW.com. And the winning word of this hour is snow, S-N-O-W. I'm glad it's spring, so we don't have to worry about the snow anymore, hopefully. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. One winner chosen each day. You must be 18 or older to play. Complete rules at WSGW.com. We'll be back after these notes.
I want to be an astronaut.
Everything now at Menards. Good through April 10th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards. RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Polecat Golf Course. You're going to get golf 4-2 with a cart for only $78. Usually $150. Half off. The Polecat Golf Course is located in the heart of Michigan. It is a championship-style course played over and around the scenic 100-foot-wide Chippewa River. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms can mean something serious, so don't wait. By phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Economists have been predicting a gradual improvement in the job market because of increased COVID-19 vaccinations and relaxation of pandemic restrictions. However, there were more people filing for benefits for the first time last week. The number of new claims increased by 16,000 to 744,000. The number of continuing claims dropped to 3.7 million. Stocks in Europe rose to records today, helped by optimism in Britain about easing lockdowns there. Minutes from the latest Federal Reserve's policy meeting indicate the Fed is not in a rush to pull back on measures to prop up the economy. And Costco shares are higher after its sales topped $18 billion in March. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Businesses that run like clockwork establish routines they trust. That's why over 1 million companies rely on Cintas. We'll help you protect employees and customers. Inspect your fire protection systems and devices, hygienically launder your uniforms, and keep you well-stocked with the leading hand sanitizers and disinfecting wipes. Learn how Cintas can help you open your doors with confidence.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis. Weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work.
It's all about the nose. It's your air filter, the first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. If too many germs get stuck in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose clean, just like washing your hands. Keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself. It's called Novage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, bacteria, and viruses. At Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Lines are wide open for you for the next hour and a half or so. Number of things to talk about, but before we do that, I want to point out that tomorrow I will have a special broadcast from 9 to 11:30 here on WSGW. We'll be at the McDonald's restaurant at 510 South Michigan Avenue in Saginaw. A fundraising effort will be taking place all day as the owner, Sean Saputo, will donate 50% of sales to the Recovery Fund set up for 2 Michigan Army National Guard soldiers injured recently in a training exercise. You may remember the story. They were injured by a falling tree. The 2 soldiers are assigned to the Bravo Company in Saginaw. The owner of this McDonald's, Sean Saputo, is a Michigan Army National Guard veteran. So we will be at that franchise tomorrow at McDonald's, 510 South Michigan, doing our broadcast remotely. And we will spend some time chatting with Sean about the incident and what he's trying to do. All right. A number of things to talk about today. This is the day we've been told that the president is going to issue some executive actions that have to do with gun control. And there are a number of them, apparently. The gun restrictions would require, for example, that a person get a background check when obtaining what is commonly called a ghost gun. Now, I have to tell you, I am not intimately knowledgeable about all of these things. My understanding of a ghost gun is that it is a non-serialized group of parts which you obtain and then put together your own gun. Now, those of you who are more knowledgeable than I can correct me on that, or at least fill me in on the ghost gun. But apparently that is going to be one of the recommendations, that background checks be used for those that are looking to purchase those parts and put those ghost guns together. There will be, I'm sure, many other actions to come out of this executive order. It's not likely that that's going to be the only thing. This follows a string of mass shootings recently, and as is always the case when there are mass shootings, the cry comes out for gun control. Of course, the reality is, if you put gun control in place, the only people you are actually controlling are the people who legally and lawfully have and use weapons. because the people that aren't using them legally aren't going to care that you have a law and they're going to obtain guns anyway. First action apparently will direct the Department of Justice to propose a rule within 30 days to stop the proliferation of the ghost guns, as I mentioned, or makeshift weapons that can be constructed at home. They don't have a serial number, and the administration officials emphasized that the executive actions were initial steps that they would take to address gun violence, and that officials would work on additional actions in the weeks ahead. And of course, that's what gun rights folks worry about, is that it is a control creep of gun rights. And that each one of these little additions to restrictions leads to the next one and the next one and the next one. And the question is, what's reasonable restriction and what is not? Now, most Americans, even a lot of gun owners, agree that there should be background checks and that the background check system needs to be strengthened. The problem with background checks today is it's fine to check for criminal activity and whether someone has the right to own a gun if they've had a criminal background, if they're a felon, possession, so forth, so on. What it does not tell you is the mental state of an individual, because HIPAA laws don't allow it. When they do a background search, they do not get information as to whether or not you've seen a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or any of that. So that's kind of a pretty big weakness, because most of the folks that have conducted themselves in an illegal fashion with mass shootings have had one kind of a mental problem or another, and several of them have obtained guns legally. So the question begs, how do we ensure that those who shouldn't have guns don't get them? I don't know the answer to that. And I'm not one who shoot from the hip, if you'll pardon the pun, because I believe in the Second Amendment. And while I want to see us safe, and I want to see, while I believe in background checks, I think until we figure out how to ensure that the right information is provided, we're spinning our wheels. Let's talk to Chris in Midland. Chris, good morning.
Hi. With regard to background checks, in the last 5, 6, 7 years, there have been failures in the background check system to have pertinent information entered in there because some government dropped the ball.
Yep. Well, that was true in the, and that was partially, if I remember right, that was particularly true with the military, that the military in some instances had failed to provide necessary information, which would have prevented some people from obtaining weapons.
Yeah. With regard to all of the, you already mentioned it, regard to passing any ordinance, law, statute, whatever you want to call it, no criminals got to pay attention to it. And the only people that will be punished are those law-abiding citizens who have jumped through all the hoops, background check to buy a weapon. I've had 3 background checks. And I don't understand. Maybe, I don't know if you just mentioned it and I didn't pick up on it or not. But what is it in the what they call a common sense background check? Are they looking forward to add to what is already done?
Well, the part that's missing is your mental health. You know, have you been institutionalized? Have you been to a psychologist or psychiatrist for a mental issue? Do you have mental problems? That doesn't show up in a background check. And many of the people who have legally obtained weapons and then used them improperly have had mental issues. I don't know how to get around that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, HIPAA laws prevent
Right.
some information from being released, but I don't have the answer to that. I absolutely do not. But it is it is a weakness.
Yeah, I don't have an answer to that either, because there are minor petty issues that people might see a specialist for.
Yeah.
That could show up and then scrap somebody's attempt to get a weapon, even though they are no threat to anybody.
So then, if you had your mental information included in a background check, that would include information on what you were seen for. You know, maybe you were feeling depressed for a very short period of time in your life and you were treated, cured, and all that. I'd want that in there. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But it's just, you know, and we could probably, by our signature, authorize that to happen and waive our HIPAA rights in those matters. But until something is figured out, I mean, the background checks, they're great to a point, but they're not the catch-all.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Hey, Wilson, one more thing.
Real
about
quick,
the-
real quick.
Yeah. There was a move to do something a couple of years ago. It was called Fix NICS. And that was the background check system we currently have. What do you know anything about
Nope,
that?
I
And
don't.
if it ever went anywhere?
I do not. We'll see if we can find out, though. Got to run, Chris. I'm late
Okay.
for a break here.
Okay.
We'll take a
Thank
break.
you.
Yep, you bet. We'll be back with more on the Art Lewis Show. We'll get to Jack and Mount Pleasant when we return.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Wearing a protection, it's a bridge to better days. The path back to celebrations with family. Nights out on the town with friends. Game days with your favorite sports teams. And the thrill of live concerts. But until we can all get the COVID-19 vaccine and build community immunity, which will take time, we all need to continue to stay careful. Because Michigan's recovery is depending on you, and so are your family, friends, and neighbors. So even after you're vaccinated, wear a mask, avoid large gatherings. One day in the near future, we will all be able to put this pandemic behind us. But until then, spread hope, not COVID. Learn more at michigan.gov/coronavirus. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Here's what you can do. Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream and pay. You can get a loan from $5,000 to $100,000. The process is all online. You never have to leave the house. And you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 17% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.95% APR with AutoPay.
Now I can pay off my high interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate. Thanks, Lightstream.
Want an even lower interest rate? Apply today at lightstream.com/news and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/news for an additional discount. Lightstream.com/news.
Subject to credit approval. Rate includes 0.5% auto pay discount. Terms and conditions apply and offer. lightstream.com/news for more information.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app anytime, anywhere. Listen to more than 300 stations along with more than 3,000 podcasts from your home area or across the U.S., all free.
With the radio.com app.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. By the way, thank you, Charlie. Did a little research about the Fix NICS, Fix NICS Act of 2017. Federal law passed as part of the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2018, signed by President Donald Trump on March 23rd of 2018. The law applies penalties to government agencies for not reporting to the National Instant Criminal Background Check System. And if I remember right, that was one of the problems the military had, is they had not reported some things and allowed folks to get some weapons that shouldn't have had them. All right, Jack is in Mount Pleasant, so that's where we're going to go next. Jack, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
All right. What's up?
We're talking about this from the standpoint of what do we do or what should we have the government do? Take a step back to basic principles. And I'll start by stepping away from guns for a minute. When the country was founded, and for a very long time, there was no EPA, there was no NOAA, no NASA, there was no IRS, there was no FBI. And the country was very simple. And you had the basic tenets of government, and people looked out for themselves. And now, for example, we haven't had income taxes, and the common person can't even more. It's that complex. So I think they just need to do nothing, because the government isn't going to do anything efficiently. We're going to end up with a big spider web of stuff, and regulations never go away, and they build on and they build on as time goes on.
Yeah, I would agree.
Just leave things alone and live by the Second Amendment.
Well, I agree with you that government doesn't do anything efficiently. But you also have to remember the founding fathers gave government the ability to create what's been created. And over the years, they've taken advantage of it, obviously.
Well,
and remember this now, and talk to any constitutional lawyer, they will all tell you no rights are absolute. And the Supreme Court has supported that time and time again.
Yeah. So then what it really comes down to is it's not the government, it's the people, right? We vote the
well, yeah, of course. Of course.
They do these things.
They do the people's business, you know?
They do. They do.
Yep. And if you don't like them, you move to get rid of them. You attempt to get people to agree with you and remove them, or you vote them out.
Yep.
But
that's exactly right.
But
so,
you and I both know that doesn't happen enough.
That's all right. Thanks.
Hey, Jack, take care. Bye-bye now. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, toll free, 866-790-WSGW. Yes, it was a simpler time. Yes, there weren't all those agencies, but it was a simpler time. And this country is very different today than what it was back then, other than the fact that we still treasure our rights and live by that same Constitution, which is amazing that the document has survived this long. They gave us a way to amend it if we had to. So from that standpoint, are we very different? No, not really. We still live by the same rules and the same document, but government has grown. There's no doubt about it. And we the people cede power to the government by allowing it to happen and not removing those from office that don't do the bidding the way we'd like it done. But then again, also remember that half of us want it one way and the other half want it another way. So, the reality is that we need to sit down, both sides, find common sense answers to common sense problems, and institute them. But that's not going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. Quick break, and we'll get back, talk to Owen and Gladwin when we return on the Art Lewis Show.
Bader & Sons Company is your local John Deere dealer. We are here to help you farm Michigan. We offer replacement parts like filters, belts, and hoses for your equipment. You'll find them in store and online at greentractors.com. With John Deere's Good, Better, Best parts program, combined with our trained parts pros, we can help you find the parts you need. Count on us to provide the service your equipment deserves in our 10 service shops or in the field. Let Bader & Sons Company show you why we have the service and the parts at the right price.
It's been a challenging year. And Consumers Energy knows asking for assistance isn't always easy.
Thank you for calling the Assistance Center. How can I help you?
Hi, I just got my most recent energy bill, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pay it. It's been a really challenging year. Is there any help available?
If you need help with energy and other bills, call 211 or go to mi211.org.
Fast Eddie's Car Wash and Oil Change Centers should be your one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs. We provide outstanding service when it comes to keeping your vehicle clean and running at its best. We're now offering the latest in car wash engineering with its state-of-the-art technology. Twice the foam, twice the wax, twice the results. You won't be disappointed with the show. And to make it easy and affordable for you, we offer the Ultimate Car Wash membership. Starting as low as $19.95 a month, you can wash your vehicle every day of the week at any of our 16 locations. That's $19.95 and receive $15 off your next Fast Eddie synthetic oil change. It's simple math. That's $5 to wash your car every day for a month. Nobody can compete with the quality, cost, and convenience Fast Eddie's offers to take care of your vehicle. So stop in to any of our locations across mid-Michigan and sign up for your car wash. Take advantage of your $15 savings towards your next oil change. Fast Eddie's, your one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Discover and enjoy your favorite music, news, and talk radio from live stations across the country. Listen anywhere on all mobile and home devices with the radio.com app.
Receive a $5 rebate by trading up any non-contact thermometer toward an Exergen temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. With COVID continuing to spread, nothing matters more than having an accurate thermometer that's backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies like the Exergen temporal scanner. Even after getting the COVID vaccine, you should be monitoring for fever to make sure you are protected. Keep your family and yourself safe by trading up your non-contact thermometer for an accurate temporal scanner and a $5 rebate from Exergen, where accuracy matters. Details at Exergen.com.
Hi, this is Mike Ebert on Outdoor Magazine. First, Bob Ransom of Primal Tree Stands with a new ground blind just in time for turkey season. In hour number 2, we're talking turkey with turkey hunting guide Chet Lohr. And in hour number 3, we're talking springtime outdoor adventures with outdoor writer Mike Natkowski. Listen Sunday mornings at 9 on 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. We're going to go up to Gladwin and talk to Owen this morning. Owen, good morning.
Good morning. This is Owen.
Yep.
I think that we should have a mass shooting death penalty law in the state of the United States. It doesn't matter where it happens. It doesn't matter if the state has the death penalty or not. If you do a mass shooting, you get convicted, you automatically get the death penalty.
Well, that's an interesting concept. We'd have to create a federal law which says all mass shootings are federal offenses. Otherwise, the federal government would not have standing. States like Michigan that don't have the death penalty would probably object. And the other thing to remember, Owen, though, is that, and I'm convinced of this, most of these people that do these things, they don't expect to live through it anyway.
I know, but if they do live through it, they should be able to die.
Yeah, but that's so rare. It's so rare. Most of them either are killed by authorities or take their own lives, like the one that just happened. There is no easy answer because in most of these cases, we're dealing with some kind of mental health issue. And how do you spot them ahead of time? How do you prevent it? I don't have the answer. I'm not smart enough to have that answer. I don't know anybody that is.
All right.
All right. Good enough.
Have fun.
Hey, thanks, Owen. Bye-bye now. All right, lines are open for you. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free in Michigan is 866-790-WSGW. And if you are outside the state of Michigan, you can call 989-752-6111. How about I take a moment to talk to you about Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan for your Medicare coverage. It's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. When you need access to care, Blue Cross provides you with more options that work for every lifestyle. Schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. If you'd like to stay close to home, give the Blue Cross 24/7 nurse line a call or schedule a virtual doctor visit. Whenever you need assistance, Blue Cross will connect you with the information and the help you need. With the Blue Cross Medicare plan, you'll never have to go without your medication. Their easy-to-use prescription drug plans allow you to refill and pick up your medications from your local pharmacy, or you can have them delivered by mail. Get access to the care you need as soon as you need it with Blue Cross, the company that more than 500,000 people in Michigan trust for their Medicare coverage. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, confidence comes with every card. See what other members are saying at bcbsm.com/senior care. And we'll go back to our phones now. And Mark is in Midland. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
We're all right. Thanks.
Hey, I need to get your opinion on something. The January 6th, there was a riot at the Capitol where they stormed the Capitol. Those individuals are still in jail, and the charges are for meandering. It's not anything else. It's just meandering. But out in Portland, Oregon, all charges were dropped for the people that rioted, broke buildings, burned down buildings, even shot people. How do I square that up as an individual?
You don't, and I don't either. I agree that the people that raided the Capitol, that rioted at the Capitol, should be dealt with, but so should those who have violated the law in Portland, Oregon. Absolutely, without question, and in Seattle and other places. There is no question in my mind that what they did is just as bad. Obviously, what happened in Washington, D.C. was an attack on the nation. So it got more priority, if you will, more headlines. But what happened in Portland, Oregon, and attacks on federal buildings, to me, are attacks on the country too, and deserve the same standing. So you and I are not going to disagree.
Oh, well, there's a first for everything, huh?
You bet. All right.
All right,
Take care, Mark. You too. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Dr. D in Saginaw. Dr. D, good morning.
Hello, Art. Just a couple of things, comments I want to make about mental illness.
Yes, please.
In order to become an MD, you have about psychiatric training.
Right.
That's just before you do a residency. You have to do 12 weeks of emergency medicine. When the two come together, it's really amazing because most of us gun violence, not mass shootings, but home shootings and
sure
alcohol's involved in it. And a lot of people that go crazy and just go, their cheese just slides off their cracker. It's the first time they ever do it. And we had a guy that shot his wife 3 times. He worked hard all day. He was frustrated about something, and he came home and shot his wife 3 times because he didn't want to eat pancakes for dinner. That's all she had to feed him.
Wow. So I have to ask a question.
Doing a pre-screen for these psychiatric problems, it's hit or miss. All these people never had any kind of offense before, but like I said, a lot of times alcohol is involved.
I get the question is this, Doc. I mean, that gentleman comes home and over pancakes, he shoots his wife 3 times. Are we saying then?
He's been drinking.
Well, and are we saying that nowhere in his history were any indications that he could go off the rails?
Correct. I've seen it several times.
Yeah.
I've seen a guy pull out a handgun, throw it to his wife's head because the baked beans were too soupy. He didn't like them that way.
Yeah, and you now point out the real problem is how to identify these things, and in many ways you can't.
Really
yeah. Oh, I understand that. I understand that. But there have also been enough cases out there where there have been warning signs and they've been ignored.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
how do you get that? How do you balance all that out? And I don't have the answer for it. I mean, but I understand what you're saying, and you see it firsthand. You know better than anybody. You see the after effects.
People that whip their kids because they're tired of changing the diapers 3 times in 1 hour.
Yeah.
They're frustrated with life. They're frustrated with being a single spouse,
See, but I have to think, maybe it's just the way I am. See, I have to think, if your mental state takes you to that point, you have a mental illness. Now, the question is how it manifests itself and how do you detect it?
The question of detection, okay?
Yeah.
Especially like the woman who had been shot 3 times.
Right.
She was lucky. She survived. But this woman had to see some other sign or symptom in this guy.
Yeah, that's what
he did something like
right.
that. If she doesn't turn him in or go to a mental health clinic with this fella, or
yeah,
it's really.
I hear you.
Other sign,
Hey, Doc, I appreciate your input as always. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye now. Dr. D in Saginaw, and we will take our last break for this hour, but we'll have open phones next for you here on the Art Lewis Show.
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination, a COVID-19 vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research and development, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse and health status. They arrived at a safe, effective vaccine, and hundreds of thousands in Michigan have already been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the vaccine when we can. Keep wearing masks correctly and taking precautions until we reach our destination, freedom from COVID-19 and getting back to the lives we love. Discover the facts for yourself at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
This is United Shades of Gray. This week we'll engage the sensitive topic of cultural appropriation, the stealing or borrowing parts of a minority cultural identity by the predominant culture. You don't want to miss this.
United Shades of Gray, Sunday evenings at 7 on WSGW.
All right, that wraps up this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. We'll be back with open phones next hour. But coming up before that, bring you up to date on what's happening in the world with the national and international report from CBS News. We'll have the local report, which will bring you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region and everything happening in the state of Michigan. And then we'll be back with more open phones. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. Later this morning, he's set to announce executive actions to curb gun violence.
2 of the executive actions will take aim at products gun enthusiasts can now buy legally. Ghost guns assembled at home without serial numbers or background checks, and arm braces meant to improve aim when firing a semi-automatic pistol. The Justice Department will also draft model legislation for states that seek to adopt red flag laws. They would have guns taken away from those deemed a threat to themselves or others. Vowing to fight these measures, the NRA warns the proposals could require law-abiding citizens to surrender lawful property.
CBS's Stephen Portnoy. 5 people were shot to death in a home. Among them, a doctor, his wife, and 2 of their grandchildren. Trent Ferris with the York County Sheriff's Office.
We're shocked that this type of incident happened in our area in Rock Hill, especially with the amount of people who were involved.
There's been a lot of concern over the AstraZeneca vaccine after regulators found a link to blood clots. Allison Assels is a pharmacist. Her brother Neil died of a blood clot Easter Sunday, just 10 days after getting the vaccine. She says she still believes you should get the
If you've had
shot.
one dose, go ahead and have your second. If you haven't had your dose yet, make sure that you do. Because overall, we will save more lives by people having the vaccine.
The Masters teed off today in Augusta, Georgia. It's turned very political this year. Augusta National and Masters Chairman Fred Ridley addressed the state's controversial voting law that led MLB to pull the All-Star game from
We
Atlanta.
realize that views and opinions on this law differ. There have been calls for boycotts and other punitive measures. Unfortunately, those actions often impose the greatest burdens on the most vulnerable in our society.
CBS's Jim Crisolo keeping an eye on a unionization vote in the Deep South.
More than 3,200 workers at a sprawling Amazon warehouse in Bessemer, Alabama, near Birmingham. Nice. That was 55% of the 5,800 workers at the facility. The vote outcome is expected to be released today or tomorrow.
The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits rose by 16,000, a sign that many employers are still cutting jobs. Mark Hamrick with Bankrate.com.
We see big increases in new claims in both California and New York, both of which have been hit hard by COVID-19 and hit hard economically.
Checking the markets at this hour, the Dow is down 68 points. Former VP Mike Pence has a book deal. His autobiography is scheduled to come out in 2023. CBS News.
When you're hiring, there's no luxury of time. So instead of waiting for people to see your sponsored post, invite them to apply. More at Indeed.com/credits.
As the world begins to open up again, don't forget to support your local partners. Together we can help make our community strong and help restaurants like
Big E's Sports Grill in Midland. They have over 30 beers on tap, an awesome half-pound Angus burger, 1-pound wet burrito, and of course their famous nachos. Big E's, fire raisers and grill seekers.
Looking for a warm and inviting place to dine with family and friends? Treat yourself to a delicious home-cooked meal at Sullivan's Food and Spirits on Graff. The prices are reasonable, daily specials, and fabulous home-cooked meals make them a family favorite. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner available for dine-in or takeout.
Come to the Beer Garden in Bay City with 18 beers on tap. Try their signature burger, poutines, roasted Brussels sprouts, and nachos. Visit Beer Garden on State Park Drive in Bay City and check out beergardenbaycity.com for current hours.
enjoy great food and friends while supporting our communities as we all grow together.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
60 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Lynn Williams. The Saginaw County Health Department has recognized that after more than a year, people are feeling the strain of ongoing measures to prevent COVID-19 at what marked the Health Department's 50th weekly update since the beginning of the pandemic. Health Officer Christina Harrington said more than a third of Saginaw County residents of all age groups have been fully or partially vaccinated. She says even with that progress, people should continue to wash their hands, use face coverings, and practice social distancing now more than ever. With variants like the B117 UK variant currently affecting the county, she says people shouldn't let their guard down too soon, as the county reported 206 new cases and 3 deaths on Wednesday alone. A Hemlock High School girls basketball player has tested positive for COVID-19, ending the team's chances at a playoff run. The news came Tuesday. 2 tests, both of which came back positive. The team was to play in the state semifinals yesterday against Grass Valley at the Breslin Center in Lansing. The positive COVID test means the team had to forfeit the game. The team also had to bow out of regional competition last year due to COVID-19. Buena Vista Township wants residents to help transform its former high school into a new, more operable space. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
Initial hopes, according to Township Superintendent Tori McAfee, include the possibilities of a local farmers market, business spaces, and a reinvention of the former athletic areas as a dog park, drive-in movie theater, and community garden, among other ideas. While still in the early proposal stage, McAfee says the return of the use of the high school building will be something the entire surrounding community will be able to enjoy.
We have a lot of space and opportunity that we can turn this into something great. About 40 acres for the township, for the residents, for the overall. We wanted to make sure that we were including our residents and what we're going to do.
The township purchased the building from the Saginaw Public School District last July after it had been closed when the Buena Vista District dissolved in 2013 and aims to have the space at least partially open for business by 2023. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 10:07.
I want to tell you about a great opportunity for seniors 60 and older. The Saginaw County Commission on Aging is holding free virtual Tai Chi classes every Monday and Wednesday via Zoom. Tai Chi is a very gentle stress and anxiety reducer. It helps increase flexibility and balance. So if you're interested in meeting new friends in a fun and friendly social environment and would like to give Tai Chi and all of its health benefits a try, give Saginaw County Commission on Aging a call to reserve your space. Classes will be virtual until social distancing requirements can be relaxed. Call Carol at 989-790-3289 for more information. That's 790-3289. RSVP is required for Zoom login information for free virtual Tai Chi classes with the Saginaw County Commission on Aging.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. The U.S. Department of Transportation has announced grants for MBS International Airport in Freeland and Capital Region Airport in Lansing. The Transportation Department says the grants are to help with costs related to operations, sanitization, janitorial services, debt service payments, and combating the spread of pathogens at the airport. The grants are funded as part of the Coronavirus Preparedness and Response Supplemental Appropriations Act. MBS Airport will receive a little over $1.5 million, and Capital Region Airport's grant is worth nearly $1.8 million. John Molinar of Midland announced the grant, saying both airports create convenient travel options for Michigan residents, and the grants will help ensure a more convenient experience. A 33-year-old man was shot in Saginaw yesterday morning. It happened while the victim was walking east on Robert Street near East Genesee in his abdomen about 10:45 a.m. It isn't clear if he was shot by another pedestrian or by someone from a vehicle. The victim was listed in critical condition, and there is no suspect information. A Gladwin County woman died Tuesday after a rollover crash in Sage Township. Police say 26-year-old Alyssa Bunnell was driving a Jeep of Zymer Road around 11 p.m. when the vehicle rolled into a ditch. Bunnell was not wearing a seatbelt. Police say she was partially pinned underneath the vehicle. Was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say alcohol may have been a factor. The latest numbers from the state show COVID-19 cases climbing and expected to grow. Jeff Gilbert reports.
Hospitalizations are up 45% in the past week, doubling every 12 to 14 days, according to Dr. Sarah Lyon-Callow, who heads the state's Bureau of Epidemiology. Exceed the number of hospitalizations we saw last April. Vaccinations are working, despite 246 cases of people who tested positive after being fully vaccinated.
This is not in excess of what might be expected in terms of breakthroughs for vaccines that have up to 95% efficacy. So we're actually seeing fewer cases of potential breakthrough than we had anticipated seeing.
Are still concentrated around scholastic sports, particularly basketball, hockey, and wrestling.
And that was Jeff Gilbert reporting. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom 752-0790. It's 10:11. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll have increasing cloud cover for the forecast area today with showers and thunderstorms possible this afternoon. Southeast winds gusting in the 20s. Showers and thunderstorms continue tonight as lows drop to the mid-50s. Winds continue to be blustery. Rain developing late Friday. Sunshine throughout the day. Our highs will be warming into the upper 60s. South winds gusting in the 30s. Rain for Friday night, cloud cover, and a low of 51 degrees. I'm staff meteorologist Mandy Faluber with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently 63.
The only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show, sponsored by The Point and Pinnacle Realty in Saginaw and its broker owner, Linda Shepard. We thank them for that. We thank you for joining us. We'll have an open phone hour, whatever you'd like to chat about. You can give us a call at 752-6111 or 866-790-WSGW. If you're out of the state of Michigan, call 989-752-6111. Pretty soon, even if you're in the state of Michigan, you'll have to use 989 because we're all going to have to start using a 10-digit dialing protocol. One note for you, there is a free food giveaway right now until it's gone at Victorious Believers Ministry, 624 Outer Drive in Saginaw. They have enough to feed about 400 families. Again, free food giveaway now until gone at Victorious Believers Ministries, 624 Outer Drive in Saginaw, enough to feed about 400 families. And we thank them for doing that. That's outstanding community service. What if it were, we have a caller that questioned, what if it were mandated that all high schools had a course regarding the MMPI and all students had to take a test? Could it lead to possibly discovering issues early? The MMPI, by the way, is the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory. It's a psychological test that assesses personality traits and psychopathology. It's primarily intended to test people who are supposed to be suspected of having mental health or other clinical issues. Boy, I'll tell you, that's a tough one to answer. We do require, for example, that you be vaccinated before you go to school. We now require that if you've had or been around COVID-19, you quarantine. Could you require an MMPI? Could you require someone to take that test? Or would it have to be voluntary? Interesting question. I would want to know how the information was going to be used. I have an aversion to mandatory if I don't know how the end product is intended to be used. Because if you're providing all of that information to government, you just never know. So it's an interesting question. Lee is in Saginaw, so let us begin with Lee this morning. Morning, Lee.
Morning, Art. Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Something I wanted to bring up was a lot of this is smoke and mirrors about the background checks. They said they want universal background checks to close the gun show loophole, but there's no gun show loophole. If you buy a gun from a federally licensed dealer, you have to have a background check. That's the end of the story. No matter if it's a gun show or where else. What they want to...
Whoa. Stop right there for a minute because you said something important. You said if you buy a gun from a federally licensed dealer.
Yes.
What if you don't? What if
That's
you buy
where I'm
it from?
going.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead then.
Okay, like in Michigan, handguns are registered. You have to get a purchase permit. So even if I sold you my handgun, you would still have to have a background check done. Many states are like that.
Yep.
They want the long guns. They want to give your child a 22, or say you've been friends for 30 years and you wanted to buy my shotgun or whatever. I sold it to you. That's where they want to do the background checks, is on private sales. Well, here's the problem with that. Right now, there's 450 to 500 million firearms in circulation in the United States, is the current estimates. If they pass the law on universal background checks, they can't tie that weapon, any of those weapons, to anybody, unless you've already been registered, like a handgun in this state, to somebody.
Yeah, particularly
So, for
long guns.
example-
Particularly long
Right.
guns.
Correct. So the law takes effect today. I've got this gun I had for 30 years. I could sell it to you in 5 years or 10 years. They can't prove that I sold it to you after the date of the law.
Yeah, they can't prove you
Or the
owned it.
background check.
They can't prove you
So-
owned it because there's no registration.
Right. That's where I'm going with this whole thing. What they want, this is all about universal registration. They want to tie every weapon to a
Yeah,
person.
that very well could be. That very well
Yeah.
could be.
And the problem with that, if you look at California, you look at Connecticut and other places that did that, then they came back and said, turn them in. We know you got them. Connecticut, when they did it, they were shocked. The estimates were like 350,000 people just decided to say no, and they didn't register anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how are they going to
So-
find them all?
Put that nationwide. What are you going to do? Take tens of millions of people and start sticking them in gulags?
No, well, obviously not. And you know, the other problem is gun owners and those proponents of the Second Amendment fear what I call institutional creep. You give them one, and then they take another. You give them another, and they take another. And that's always been a fear in gun control.
But their crown jewel is they've said it in several places that they want universal registration.
Yep.
They want to know you have it.
They want to know you
So they
have it,
ban it.
which means they can come for it if they want it.
Thank you.
And I would not agree with that.
You would not agree with?
No, I would not agree with letting them do it.
Oh, right, yes.
Yep.
Correct.
So,
all right, Art.
Hey, good enough. Lee, thanks. Appreciate the call.
Bye.
And Errol in Saginaw before we take a break here. Errol, good morning.
Good morning. My ears perked right up when I listened to the proposal that we mentally check everyone, probably from the time they're born. It brings back shades of what the Nazis were trying to do before the Second World War and took over Germany. I do not like that idea, period. Okay. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk the ship that they just announced that they found in 28,000 feet of water.
Oh, yes.
I don't think Rick Mixter is going to be diving for that one. Him and I used to dive once in a while together. And we cleaned the Asavo and found grenades. But my question is that it's been down for, 70 years. But would it be possible to check it for remains of sailors that we had aboard? I realize
I doubt it.
But there may be bones.
Yeah, maybe, but most of what I've read over the years about that is after a period of time, they are dissolved. The salt water.
They are dissolved also?
Yeah.
Well, I've never been that deep, but...
Now, I do know they found, I think they did find, if I'm right, and Rick Mixter could tell me this, but I think they did find some remains like on the Edmund Fitzgerald. But it hadn't been down that long, and it's fresh water.
Yeah, they did on the Cedarburg too.
Yeah, and that's fresh water.
All I ever got off the Cedarburg was a vacuum cleaner hose. I was trying for a porthole window, and Chicago beat me to it. I took 3/4 of it down with flares, and Chicago group came by and took the damn thing, so I ended up with a vacuum. So much for fun. Talk to you later, sir.
All right, Errol, thanks. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Bye.
All right, lines are open for you here on the Art Lewis Show for this What is it? Today's a Thursday, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Beautiful day outside. Hope it stays that way, although they say that it might precipitate later on. How was your sleep last night? You know, today's workers are asked to do more for less, so when you go to bed, you spend a third of your life there. You need quality sleep, and you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. You don't have to wait around all day for them. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you to your exact specifications, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and showroom serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport, or visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 753-1757. And it is time to play the WSGW Spring Into Cash contest. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following winning word online at WSGW.com. The winning word this hour is summer, S-U-M-M-E-R. Recent days, it almost felt like summer outside. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. The winner is chosen each day. Must be 18 or older to play. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Spring Into Cash on 100.5 and 790 WSGW. We will be back after these notes.
Join the millions switching to Spectrum Mobile, and you could save up to 40%. Nationwide 5G is included with every plan, and there are no added taxes or fees, plus no contracts. And for a limited time, get up to $300 off a new Samsung 5G phone with trade-in when you switch to Spectrum Mobile. Visit a Spectrum store near you or go to spectrummobile.com today. Savings based on comparison of single-line comparable unlimited plans amongst major national carriers as of 1/27/2021. Data Spectrum Internet required. Services not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Terms of the coronavirus, just what we needed, right? Yeah. So we wondered, are we doing enough to protect ourselves and our son? Turns out we are, because things like well-fitted masks, 6 feet of space, avoiding crowds, all of that still works. And getting vaccinated, when it's our turn. COVID may not be letting up, but neither are we.
We can do this. Learn more at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
How clean is your nose? Most airborne germs and allergens invade through the nose. It's first line of defense. You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? Did you know there's an easy way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself? It's called Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to clean your nose by flushing out pollen, mucus, bacteria, and viruses. Millions use Navage for fast, all-natural relief from sinus congestion and allergies, and to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage is easy to use, affordable, and it comes with an absolute guarantee of satisfaction. And 50,000 independent online reviews averaging 4.7 stars show just how much people love their Navage. You wash your hands and brush your teeth. Can clean your nose and help protect your health with Navage at Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Make good nasal hygiene your new normal with Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened mixed with the S&P 500 in record territory because it closed at a record on Wednesday. New claims for unemployment benefits rose by 16,000 to 744,000 last week. Economists were predicting a decline that's seen as a sign that is uneven. Valero Energy, the gasoline and petrochemical company, expects to lose money in the current quarter. Valero says it had higher than expected costs because of the Texas winter storm. GameStop expects to elect Chewy co-founder Ryan Cohen to its chairman following its annual meeting. Cohen is currently a board member and is working to transform GameStop's e-commerce business. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
Are you taking Cialis? Marley Drug has generics of both for just $12 per tablet. That's a savings of $60 per dose. Marley Drug is an independent pharmacy delivering generic Cialis and Viagra to your door for $12 per tablet. Call Marley Drug at 800-513-0570. That's 800-513-0570. Again, 800-513-0570.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis, weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, I guess we'll try to make sense of it all. That is a very, very difficult job. We will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Before I get back to the phones, tomorrow I'm going to have a special broadcast from 9 to 11:30 here on WSGW. I will be on remote at the McDonald's restaurant, 510 South Michigan Avenue in Saginaw. It's going to be a fundraising effort that will take place all day as the owner, Sean Saputo, will donate 50% of his sales to the recovery fund set up for 2 Michigan Army National Guard soldiers injured recently in a training exercise. The 2 soldiers are assigned to the Bravo Company in Saginaw out of Buena Vista, and the owner of this McDonald's, Sean Saputo, is a Michigan Army National Guard veteran. We will chat with him at some point tomorrow, too, as we broadcast from the McDonald's at 510 South Michigan Avenue, and you can buy some food there tomorrow and help the cause. Back to our phones. Carl is in Saginaw. Carl, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I hope I've got a backhoe just outside the window here.
Oh, can't hear it.
That's okay. Consumers Energy is replacing the gas lines in our neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, they're doing a real number on my yard and the sidewalk, and
but it's for the future.
Yeah, I guess, but I'm not really thrilled about this. Is the 3rd time they've been back, and they keep tearing up more each time they come back. But,
lovely.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to talk about guns and the Second Amendment for a minute.
Yep.
You were just talking about these unregistered guns that are out, floating around in the country. To me, that does not seem like.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Doesn't seem like what?
It doesn't seem like a good idea to have millions of guns that are unregistered, just in people's basements and attics and garages.
Well, they're all long guns. They're all rifles.
Well, yeah, but still, it just I don't see the problem with having a gun registered. And I think, if something happens with a gun, a kid takes a gun to school or something like that, the owner of the gun is responsible. I think.
Well, yeah, but if a kid takes a gun to school and they catch him with it, they know where the gun came from.
Yeah. Still,
that goes back on the owner.
The owner of the gun is responsible for the safekeeping.
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
that weapon.
Absolutely. Whether it's registered or not.
Exactly. Yes. And you had a caller say, well, why are they doing these background checks? Well, I think the main reason they're looking for a criminal record. I don't know if that was obvious or not. But,
no, that is that is obvious right now. What they don't see is a mental record.
Yes, and I think my suggestion would be, if you want to buy a gun, then you sign off on your HIPAA law. And they can look into your background. I don't think that's unreasonable.
Well, that would be one way around it, certainly.
Yes, and I hate to be critical, but at one point last hour you said, well, half the country sees it this way and half the country sees it that way.
They do.
Well, it's more like 75% of the country is in favor of most of these.
No, they're in favor of background checks.
Well, a lot of these regulations have wide support. Now, the gun lobby, I understand, is very, they're very, feel very strongly about, gun rights and all that. I think they have some kind of an out of proportion influence on our political process.
No.
Even though they have every right, to lobby for what they believe in. But the Second Amendment, Art, the first 4 words of the Second Amendment. I don't mean to put you on the spot,
go ahead.
but it's a well-regulated militia. That's the first 4 words of the Second Amendment. A lot of people like to concentrate on the second half.
Yeah. Well, then ask yourself this, Carl. Ask yourself this: why has the Supreme Court traditionally ruled otherwise? They've ruled in favor of gun rights. So
they have.
As a layman, we read the Constitution one way, and as lawyers and judges, they seem to read it another way a lot of times.
But I think the idea that we can have regulations.
Well, we have.
Yes, exactly. And it's right there in the Second Amendment.
The question
is, be regulated.
The question is how many regulations and at what point does it stop? That's the worry of the gun lobby. It has always been the worry of the gun lobby. You and I both know that when it comes to your rights in this country, there is a regulation creep. And every time you turn around, you find out it's creeped a little further. And that's primarily what the gun lobby's worried about. And government has done nothing to dissuade that.
Well, I think some of these regulations are common sense. And, the gun show loophole and background checks, things like that, banning guns that can be put together, or printed on a 3D printer. I don't think those things are unreasonable.
Oh, they're not proposing that. They're not proposing banning those. They're proposing background checks to buy them, to buy the parts.
Well, they should.
Well, what's the difference if you background check and go out and buy a pistol, or you background check and go out and make a pistol? What's the difference?
Well, I think the idea that, only criminals will break the law, well, with that reasoning, why have any laws? Because criminals will break the laws. Why have a law against bank robbery? Because criminals will break that law.
So you establish a punishment for those that break the law.
Exactly. Yes.
And we already have that in gun laws, don't we?
Yeah, like
we already have gun law.
Unregistered guns.
We already have. No, see, right now it's legal. The ghost guns are not illegal.
But that means to change. Just register the guns. I don't see the
big
problem.
Here is the big problem with the ghost guns. How do you register them? They don't have a serial number.
Yeah, I don't know how big of a problem that actually is compared to. So no, compared to the hundreds of millions of guns, that you've already discussed, that are out in circulation.
You're talking about rifles, long guns.
Yeah, and handguns.
No, most of the handguns are registered. The ones that aren't registered, you're not going to get registered anyway because the people that own it have already broken the law.
Well, but possession of an unregistered handgun is against law.
Well, so what do you do about it?
Well,
yeah, there's the problem, isn't it?
You encourage people. I think you encourage people to register their guns.
Oh, I'd love to see how that works out.
That would be
All right.
I don't think having a bunch of unregistered guns, like I said, is a great idea.
No, I know you don't. I know you don't.
Basements and garages.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it is.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right. Let's see here. It's what time is it? 10:36. Coming up on 10:36 on the Art Lewis Show. Let's talk food. Krizak's House Family Restaurant, proud to be a business that serves this area with the finest in dining and takeout services. Grateful for all of you who have supported them over the years. They look forward to serving you every day except Mondays. We'll get to that as takeout day at Krizak's. Today from 11 to 7. Tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, 11 to 8. Krizak's House Family Restaurant on the corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. You can call them at 894-5531. And as was in the news, because of staff shortages, they're going to give their staff a break, and they will be closed on Mondays at Krizak's House Family Restaurant until the time comes when they can find enough people that want to work again, which is a serious issue today. And we'll talk a little bit about that. They will be closed on Mondays. We'll be back. We'll get to Sean in Bay City when we return.
When it comes to finances, does it ever feel like you're all alone with lots of questions and too few answers? Maybe it's time to find a credit union home, excited, together with you through life, where you belong, and connect with local folks who know you as more than an account number, who answer your questions before you even ask, and are passionate about your possibilities, flexible about changing and growing right alongside you, trustworthy like a friend or neighbor. Belonging at Wildfire Credit Union means your money stays right in your own backyard, helping to build this community so we all live fully. If you're an individual or business looking for a place that truly cares about people, relationships, and community more than money, we welcome you to join Wildfire. You belong here, together. Wildfire Credit Union, distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Finding great can't be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and act to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
Hey, it's me. You know, I lost my job and I've just been having a really hard time lately. I'm actually starting to worry about myself. I found this app, though, called the How We Reach coaching tool, and it's helping me reach out to my friends for support. Anyway, I was hoping maybe you could come over after your shift. I just need someone to be with me right now and help me do next. Let me know, okay? All right, thanks.
Visit reach.gov to download the tool today.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's a repetitive ad. Okay. Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's a repetitive ad. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
So here's what we're going to do.
The Ramsey Show.
You need to learn what millionaires do and do what they do. You have to think through this stuff.
The Ramsey Show, weeknights at 10 on WSGW. From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. We got 2 callers waiting, Chris in Midland first, and then Sean in Bay City. Chris, good morning to you.
I'm just wondering, is your
say that again because I missed it. Say that again. You cut out on a couple of words.
Okay, yep. Is your neighbor there one of those guys who continuously pokes over the fence, wondering what you're doing more than what he's doing?
No. My neighbors aren't close. We have plenty of space.
Yeah, all right. Well, he's still poking over your fence there, it sounds like. In any case, his advocate for this, he's all about gun rights. I'm wondering if he owns weapons or gun background checks, rather. To me, my personal opinion and my interpretation of the Second Amendment is none of their business. I have no control of what and how many weapons I have. And if they ask, I lost them in a boating accident on our home lake. That's just how that goes.
Well, I understand that. I understand that, but you do understand that no right is absolute. And there are already conditions on gun ownership. You can't own a machine gun, for example.
No, I 100% understand that, but their narrative is we're going to continuously pass gun legislation. Tell me what mass shooting that all of this gun legislation would have prevented.
Yeah, no, and that's where I agree with you. You know, I fully agree. I mean, I don't misunderstand any questions I ask or how I ask them. I am a supporter of the Second Amendment, and I worry about rights creep from government.
Correct, and that's the problem. And that's what makes it legally law-abiding citizens. It infringes us, and it infuriates us because we're doing the right thing. When you get a criminal who goes down to downtown Saginaw and picks up a gun from his buddy, which the serial numbers are scratched out, and he goes out and shoots 5 people, he doesn't care about gun laws. He does not care.
No, most criminals don't.
So therefore, the citizens need to get back to their legislators and their representatives and say, hey, this is infringement on our Second Amendment. It says a well regulated. It doesn't say highly regulated. It says well regulated.
And understand, too, that this comes up every time we have a series of mass shootings like we've just had. It comes up in government without fail. The difference this time is that Joe Biden is going to try and enact some of it by executive order. So your representatives are out of the loop.
Well, but he can't enact executive orders to take away the Second Amendment. So that's what
he can exact executive orders which put restrictions on it. For example, mandatory background checks on ghost gun buyers. He can do that, and we'll find out. I mean, if it gets challenged in the courts, we'll find out if his power is absolute or not. But don't kid yourself. He can do it with the stroke of a pen.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we got to come together with our representatives and tell them that we're not supporting this, and they need to fight this.
Well, they'd
as
have
hard
to.
as they can.
Yep.
Just like you said, it's a little thing where he's just planting seeds.
So, all right.
He's going to continue to plant these seeds.
All right, Chris, appreciate it.
All right,
thanks for the call. Take care. Bye-bye now. And in Bay City, we find Sean with us this morning. Sean, good morning. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning to you, Art. Good morning to you, too.
Yep.
Just a couple comments on the fellow that called a couple people ago. You know why the Japanese didn't come and invade us and other countries don't come and invade us? Because we have a well-armed militia. We have guns. He should know his history a little bit. And to want to blame somebody because somebody else went and shot somebody, how about you blame the person that shot somebody? How about you blame them? He wants to play the blame game. Number 3, he says there's hundreds and millions of unregistered guns. Well, Jesus, man, how are we not all dead?
Yeah, why aren't they all be?
We don't shoot each other.
Yeah, it's pretty much true, isn't it?
The general rule. I mean, come on. That man that called you, here's the thing. That type of mentality is way, way scarier than any gun. His mentality scares the living crap out of me.
Mm-hmm. Well, but but understand he's not alone. I mean, there are a lot of people in this country that believe that. Well, that's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the beast in many things in this country, isn't it? I mean, it's we are certainly a divided nation on some of the major issues in this country. And
it comes down to common sense. And,
I understand that, but there's not a lot of that.
Countries apart. Most Americans, I think, today just wear the T-shirt and they take it off at night. they really don't know what it is to be an American.
Well, I
They
don't
really
want to
don't.
paint that brush on them. I think a lot of people do, but and also understand there's a lot of people that don't agree with you, and there's a lot of people that don't agree with me. That's the nature of the
there's
beast.
tons background checks already out there.
Yep,
Tons of
absolutely,
them.
absolutely.
What more do you want? Let's ban automobiles, right? I mean, they probably kill more people. They kill people more than guns do.
Oh,
So do
yeah.
Snickers bars.
Absolutely.
So does McDonald's, right? Maybe.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. We don't know that. So, all right. Hey,
It's that mentality that scares me.
right. Well, but
And
you
it
have to
should scare
understand.
you, too.
You have to understand that it's out there, and you learn to somehow deal with it. But it's there, and
Right,
it's not
but
going to
doesn't he
change.
know that we're not Myanmar and we're not China. We're not all these other countries where they can just
No,
come and get you.
doesn't matter
Don't
what
they
they
understand that. Doesn't
No,
he
they
get
have
that?
it. They look at it their way. You look at it your way, and you guys are a mile apart.
Not my way.
Oh, sure it is. No,
how you
it's
protect
your
yourself.
it's your
That's
view
it.
of it, and they have their view of it. Now, I agree with your view of it, but that doesn't mean that they don't have theirs. So, hey, I got to take a break.
Here's how I look at it. If you're a Nazi or an American, I can't go along with a Nazi view. We're never going to be apart. You need to go find
Yeah.
someplace else.
Well, in
because
this
you're
country,
scary.
people that disagree with you aren't Nazis. They disagree with you. That's all.
Well, it depends.
All
on
right.
what they
No,
believe
it
in.
doesn't depend at all. Don't get carried away with it, Sean, because then you destroy your own argument. Hey, I got to run. We'll talk to you later. Sean in Bay City, we thank him, and we'll take a break, and then we'll be back with more.
These days, nearly every small business owner is looking for ways to cut costs. And that's where Spectrum Business comes in. They have the best business internet and phone available at prices that are up to half off what you're paying now. That's right. You can cut costs for your business and get faster internet. Just what small businesses need right now. Call 833-919-2129 and get all the value with none of the nonsense. That's Spectrum Business. 833-919-2129.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow, here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. I made sure that they would be everything you'd ever want in a sheet set. I started with the world's finest cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region where the Sahara Desert, the Nile River, and the Mediterranean Sea all meet. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with extra wide pillowcases to fit over any pillow and extra deep pockets to fit over any mattress. Not only that, they come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free. I personally guarantee that they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code SKY, S-K-Y, for this amazing special, or call 800-635-1825 and use promo code SKY.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
WSGW is your station for the Tigers.
It's been an incredible first two games for Badu. Swinging a line drive, base hit into right, Badu! Line drive single, Castro scores, and Badu in game 3 delivers the walk-off.
Tigers baseball brought to you in part by
Bader and Sons, Michigan's John Deere dealer,
DCECU,
and Schaefer Beer Line in Frankenmuth.
Your home for the Tigers is WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. Back to our phones. Patrick is in Pinconning. Patrick, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I love your show. I listen to you every day.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I want to talk to you about Biden and Harris riding the same Air Force One. The president and the vice president are not supposed to ride the same plane, but I've seen numerous videos of them exiting Air Force One together. What is your...
I don't know what the rules are. I would think they wouldn't. That would be my guess because of the succession of power. But exactly. I don't know if there's a rule against it or not. That's an interesting question. You would think logic would tell them not to do that.
Yeah. I don't think there is a rule on it, but they're not supposed to, because if the plane went down, of course, you lose the vice president and the president, which I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't be very upset about that. But
just remember. Oh no! Wait! What happens if you lose the president and the vice president?
Would Pelosi become president?
You got it.
Oh gosh, that would be awesome. Nah. But yeah. And then the other thing is the Second Amendment. I've been a hunter my whole life. My dad took me hunting. I went hunting with my grandpa. You know, I don't know about this registering all the guns. Like, how many people have old shotguns that was their great grandpa?
Oh, sure. Of course not.
And like, oh, you're just going to give it to them. You know?
No, it's not going to happen.
Exactly. Everybody gets in an uproar about this. It's like, they're not going to come take our guns. They're just trying to instill fear into people, maybe to make them think, oh, maybe I, should go out and, do the murders or whatever they do,
Yeah.
But, like that one guy said, most people know this, any gun owner that, is responsible, we take care of our guns. We keep them locked up. We only use them for hunting, and then you got the criminals out there, of course, which are, shooting people. Most of those are probably unregistered guns or guns they stole.
Yeah, not likely. Even if they're legally owned guns, they're not going to register them. Not likely.
Exactly.
So.
And what was it, Madison? Goes back to the Constitution and all that, and he believed in the right of the people to own guns to protect ourselves from evil government.
Well, and you have to remember the country basically was formed by the gun, the revolution, obviously. And at the time when all this was written, they were afraid of retaliation, obviously. They had a brand new country that they had just taken by gun in a war. And, they were afraid of what might happen down the road. And that's why it's there.
Yeah. Because I know that the hunters just in Michigan, if they all assembled, it would be one of the,
and we have
armies.
We have an answer to the earlier question. According to Reuters fact checkers, Biden and Harris do not travel together.
Oh, okay.
Which is
videos of them exiting Air Force One together.
Yeah, well,
so somebody might have photoshopped it, I guess.
Well, or they, one of them may have come on board after the plane landed and then walked out. Who knows? I mean, anything's possible. So who knows?
Well, then they say that if you don't want to get vaccinated, they want to go door to door and make people get vaccinated.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
That'll happen?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, there's people died from it. They're saying there's women that have been infertile after getting the vaccination and can't get pregnant. I mean, I don't know what to believe anymore.
All right, a follow-up to them getting off the plane together. It was in Atlanta. She flew there on Air Force Two. They met for a meeting on Air Force One, and then they disembarked Air Force One together. So they did not fly there together. So that's good to know.
Okay.
Very good.
Awesome.
All right, Patrick.
Well, thank you, Art.
Take care.
Thanks for talking.
You
Have a
bet.
good-
Bye-bye now. All right. Yeah, that's going to pretty much do it for phone calls today. We thank you for joining us. I'll remind you once again that tomorrow I'm going to be on remote. We'll have a special broadcast from 9 to 11:30 at the McDonald's restaurant, 510 South Michigan Avenue in Saginaw. It's a fundraising effort that will take place all day as the owner of the franchise, Sean Saputo, will donate 50% of sales to the recovery fund set up for the 2 Michigan Army National Guard soldiers injured recently in a training exercise. The 2 soldiers are assigned to the Bravo Company in Saginaw. And Sean, who is the owner of this McDonald's, is a Michigan Army National Guard veteran. So we'll thank him for his service, and we'll chat with him on the air at some point tomorrow to find out what it's all about. But again, we will be on remote at that McDonald's at 510 South Michigan. Time out for our last notes, and then we'll be back to close out this hour.
If you're thinking that the UPS store is only about
Sort of was.
Here's something else you should know. Mailboxing services. A real street address is just the ing to give your business that professional image.
I hadn't thought about that.
Once you see every ing we can do for your small business, it'll have you rethinking the UPS store.
I think I already have.
The UPS store. Every ing for small business. All in one place.
The UPS store.
The UPS store franchise locations are independently owned and operated. Services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
For more details, check out the UPS store in the Green Acres Plaza in Saginaw or at theupsstore.com/3451.
Woke culture is threatening our freedoms and even our police. Now, Grant Stinchfield agenda and its hidden players. Watch Stinchfield at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight on Newsmax TV as he reveals the dangers. Stinchfield gives you the cold, hard truth you need to know. Find Newsmax TV on all major cable systems or get it free on Roku, YouTube, Zumo, Pluto, and smart TVs. Download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone. Woke is dangerous, so watch Stinchfield on Newsmax tonight.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Polecat Golf Course. You're going to get golf or 2 with a cart for only $78. Usually $156. You are getting it half off. In the heart of Michigan. It is a championship-style course played over and around the scenic 100-foot wide Chippewa River. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Bob Ransom of Primal Tree Stands with a new ground blind just in time for turkey season. In hour number 2, we're talking turkey with turkey hunting guide Chet Lohr. And in hour number 3, we're talking springtime outdoor adventures with outdoor writer Mike Natkowski. Listen Sunday mornings at 9 and 790 WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Glad to have you with us today. Thanks for your participation. Thanks for listening. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, we will have a special broadcast from the McDonald's, 510 South Michigan in Saginaw. More on that tomorrow. Meantime, stick around. We've got news coming up at the top of the hour. That'll be CBS News with the national and international report. The local report brings you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region in the state of Michigan. And on Focus today, we will focus on Pit and Balcony, the theater in Saginaw. All of that ahead. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Biden is ready to announce plans to tackle gun violence with 6 different executive actions. Correspondent Weijia Jiang is at
actions President Biden is taking to address gun violence, an order to review federal policy on so-called ghost guns, self-assembled weapons that require no serial numbers. Another would review the use of stabilizing braces on pistols, which turns them into short-barreled rifles. The president will also ask the Justice Department to draft model legislation to implement red flag laws at the state level to prevent people facing mental health issues from accessing firearms.
Mr. Biden is scheduled to speak about it this hour. A former NFL pro reportedly used a .45 caliber pistol to kill a prominent doctor and children and another person in Rock Hill, South Carolina. York County Sheriff's spokesman Trent Ferris.
This is a very tragic situation, and the family does ask that you respect their privacy during this time.
The Associated Press says the suspect, Philip Adams, who played with the Seahawks, 49ers, Raiders, and Jets, also killed himself. He had reportedly been treated by Dr. Robert Leslie, who founded a local medical center. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says state officials have received tips that child migrants are being abused and neglected at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio.
The Biden administration must immediately facility.
Abbott says complaints to state agencies include allegations of sex assault and children not being given enough to eat. The more contagious COVID variant, first identified in the UK, now accounts for the majority of new cases in the U.S. CBS's Dr. David Aga says it's one reason the number of infections is holding firm at about 64,000 a day.
The problem is we're seeing large numbers of cases. And remember, this virus doesn't just cause hospitalization and death. It causes problems in anybody who gets it. So we're really worried about the virus. Even in young individuals who are mildly symptomatic, they can have long-lasting effects.
Jobless claims are rising again.
Some employers continue to struggle. The Labor Department reports new seasonally adjusted unemployment claims came in at 744,000, up 16,000 from the upwardly revised level the week before.
In Augusta.
All right.
Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, and Phil Mickelson all there to honor Lee Elder, the first black man to take part in a Masters back in 1975. Defending champ Dustin Johnson teed off about a half an hour ago. Dow down 25. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. It's for every stage of your life.
For almost 20 years, Line-X has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Line-X have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Line-X is located.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination, a COVID-19 vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse race, age, and health status. They arrived at a safe, effective vaccine, and hundreds of thousands in Michigan have already been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the vaccine when we can. Keep wearing masks correctly and taking precautions until we reach our freedom from COVID-19 and getting back to the lives we love. Discover the facts for yourself at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 66 degrees at 11. I'm in Williams. Police in Saginaw are investigating the shooting of a man walking down the street yesterday morning. Police say the 33-year-old man was shot in his abdomen around 10:45 while walking on East Roberts near East Genesee.
He's currently listed in critical condition at a local hospital. No suspect information was available. It's not clear if he was shot by another pedestrian or by someone in a vehicle. New life may be coming soon to the former Buena Vista High School. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
More than a dozen people signed up to begin cleanup efforts at the currently vacant building starting next Thursday and Friday, with more help welcomed. Township officials Dr. Christina Dillard met with residents Wednesday to discuss future uses of the school and needed effort after having purchased the building from Saginaw Public Schools last year.
Our first thing was to have a farmer's market, with our community being primarily agricultural. We wanted to give those farmers the opportunity to sell their goods. And then other ideas came about because they don't need the entire building for a farmer's market. So what can we do with the rest of the space?
Dr. Dillard says the township is aiming to have the space at least partially open for business by 2023, with community input on usage outside of the proposed farmer's market, including various medical offices, a dog park or community garden, and more. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and
Bay City's River of Time Historical Reenactment Festival has been canceled for the second year in a row over coronavirus concerns. WSGW's Michael Percha has this report.
The festival, known for its members who dress up in costumes representative of several periods in American history, has been canceled for a second year in a row. MLive.com reports the organizers of the event were also unable to secure insurance for the festival, as policies for events like the festival just aren't being written with gathering restrictions in place. The River of Time is normally located in Veterans Memorial Park along the Saginaw River. Organizers say crowd control and capacity limits would be nearly impossible to enforce since it takes place in a public park. The festival received up to 15,000 visitors each year. Despite the festival's cancellation, historical reenactors will still be seen on Bay City streets during weekends over the summer. Anyone wanting to learn a little history can engage the performers, while festival organizers make plans to return in 2022. Michael Percha, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
1107.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-60.
WSGW News Time, 1108. Law enforcement agencies across Michigan are increasing distracted driving patrols. The high visibility enforcement effort begins today and runs through Monday. Officers will be looking for drivers who are eating, drinking, using a GPS, talking to passengers, and texting, or otherwise using a cell phone. State police say the fine for texting while driving is $100. If you've already been caught once, that fine doubles to $200. A Michigan Supreme Court justice says he's been overseas for 3 months. Richard Bernstein says he's participating in an international program to improve the perception of people with disabilities while pulling all-nighters to keep up with his work in Michigan. Bernstein is blind and Jewish. He says he's passionate about the work he's been doing in the United Arab Emirates and Israel and is in no rush to return to Michigan while the court is closed for face-to-face business during the pandemic. He says he uses a phone to listen and participate in oral arguments twice a month. In person or virtual, that decision is still to come for a big after-summer event in Detroit, but the headliners have been announced. Jim Matthews reports.
Herbie Hancock, Kenny Garrett, and more all confirmed for the 2021 Detroit Jazz Festival in September. It was a live stream preview yesterday for the world's largest free jazz festival in the world. It featured performances from this year's artist in residence, Dee Dee Bridgewater, and celebrated Havana pianist Omar Sosa. Bridgewater will be headlining multiple performances during the festival, which will also include a tribute to Dave Brubeck with the Detroit Jazz Festival Choir and the Detroit Jazz Festival Orchestra, among other highlights. Organizers say it'll be June or July as to when they'll make the call call on going with a live downtown setting with audiences in attendance or as a virtual event like last year. Jim Matthews, Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll have increasing cloud cover for the forecast area today with showers and thunderstorms possible this afternoon, upper 70s, southeast winds gusting in the 20s. Showers and thunderstorms continue tonight as lows drop to the mid-50s. Winds continue to be blustery. Rain developing late Friday. We'll see lots of sunshine throughout the day. Our highs will be warming into the upper 60s, south winds gusting in the 30s. Rain for Friday night, cloud cover, and a low of 51 degrees. I'm staff meteorologist Mandy Faluber with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 66 degrees.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And a good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on the radio here on WSGW. Today we're going to focus on one of the entertainment gems in the Great Lakes Bay region, and that is the Pit and Balcony Theater. And to fill us in with what's happening there, we welcome the managing director. We say good morning to Amy Spatafor. Morning, Amy.
Hi, Art. Good morning.
Glad to have you with us this morning. Well,
glad to be here. Thanks.
I guess to say the least, the last 12 months have been a very difficult time in the arts and entertainment field. Fair to say?
To say the least, yeah, I would say that's fair.
What were you able to do during the COVID problem? And we're not out of it yet, but what were you able to do in the past 12 months in the theater at all?
So, kind of at the beginning of all of it, we did end up having to cancel the second half of our last season, but we did decide that we wanted to produce as quickly, as fully, and as safely as possible. So we actually have had a pretty full season this year. We did a fully produced virtual production in November. So we had costumes and lights and sound and masks and everything right on stage, and we presented the video online. And then we were actually able to open to live audiences in February this year. Very limited live audiences, but we've been able to continue that with our most recent production, Superior Donuts, which closed just last month. That is the only show in our main stage season that was originally programmed a year ago that we were able to keep on the docket because of publishers' rules and that about what you can stream virtually and what you have to present live.
Yeah.
So it's been a struggle, but we've been very grateful to be able to produce and to be able to give our community and artists and audiences the opportunity to engage with art as much as they can through all of this.
All right, so let's look at the future then. That's what you've done then. What are you going to do now? What's next?
Well, we just announced last night on a Facebook Live our 90th season, which is very exciting. Yes.
Wow.
Age at Pit and Balcony before art. And I mean, did you know we've been around for 90 years?
I guess in the back of my mind, but I just hadn't heard it articulated in a long time. It is amazing, really. I think we did love letters for one of the anniversary celebrations. I don't remember if it was for the anniversary or what it was for, but I know we did love letters. I've done it twice there.
Yep. Yeah, that's a popular one. That's a fun one to do. But we've got our 90th season coming up, which opens in October. Hopefully to full houses of live audiences, but, we'll see. We're going to keep following the regulations as we have to. But we've got Murder on the Orient Express in October.
Oh, wow.
Which
Big
is
one.
a repeat. Yes. Yep. That's a big one. That was one that we wanted to do this year, but couldn't because we couldn't do it virtually. So we've hung on to the rights for that one for a whole year. Musical, which is also a big one in December.
What's that
That's
again?
based on the Elf. the
Elf.
musical.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. So that's, based on the Will Ferrell movie from 2003. And then in February, we're doing Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, which is also based on a movie, the one with Sidney Poitier from the 60s. And in March, we're doing something called the Greek Mythology Olympiaganza, which is probably not a title most people have heard.
No, you're right.
But that's going to be a very fun, for listeners who are familiar with the Shakespeare abridged type shows, where you kind of we're going to take all of the myths and tell them all with the same cast through props and comedy and costumes. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's a comedy?
Of that.
It
is, yes.
All right. Hang on. I got to take a break. We are talking to Amy Spatafor. She's the managing director of Pit and Balcony Theater in Saginaw. It's time to play the WSGW Spring into Cash contest. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following winning word online at WSGW.com. And the winning word this hour is dove, D-O-V-E. It's a beautiful bird, the dove. It's an Alpha Media Company-wide contest. One winner chosen each day. Must be 18 or older to play. Complete rules at WSGW.com. It's Spring into Cash on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. And we'll be back with Amy after these notes.
Northeastern Paint Home Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint City.
Northeastern Paint Home Decoration Center.
Are you worried by the market or the value of the dollar? What's the stock market doing today? How about next month or next quarter? One thing that puts me at ease is knowing I can get real gold and silver from the Oxford Gold Group. If you haven't purchased gold or silver yet, now is the time. If you purchased gold in the past, remind yourself why. Were you seeking a more balanced portfolio or hedging against inflation? Yeah. All my listeners should call Oxford right now. 600 Gold and get the Precious Metals Investment Guide totally free. The Oxford Gold Group is who I trust. It's who I recommend. It's who I get my gold and silver from. Let Oxford Gold explain the options of having real gold or silver delivered to your home, or you can have real gold and silver in your IRA or 401k. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD. That's right. Protect your retirement and your savings. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD.
It's all about the nose. It's your air filter, the first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. If two in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose clean, just like washing your hands. Now there's a better way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself. It's called Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, bacteria, and viruses. At Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confection. Memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural. made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back. We're talking to Amy Spatafor, Managing Director of Pit and Balcony Theater. Let's talk, first of all, about season tickets. Are they available yet for the upcoming season in October, or when do you put them out?
They're not quite available yet. We're hoping to have them out by next month, but with all of the kind of moving around that we had to do this season, it may be on a little bit of a delay for Flex Passes next season.
And there'll be seasons, and there'll also be individual tickets, we assume, right? You don't know how many you're going to sell yet, do you?
No. At this point, it's kind of up in the air. Right now, I can only fit 92 people. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm trying to hold off on the Flex selling season tickets until we know how many people we can seat every night.
Let's talk about, first of all, directors. Have you named directors for all these shows?
Yes, we have. Yes. A number of them are new to Pit and Balcony directors. And I'm very excited that the majority of our directors this year are women, which is the first time that we've had we have 6 shows and 4 of them are directed by women or teams of women. So
fantastic.
That's very exciting for us. Yeah.
So when, for example, the October show, when will you start casting, for example?
That one will have auditions in August. Again, provided that everything, we keep moving in the right direction with everything. So we'll pretend that everything is normal.
Yeah, that's what I'm pretending too.
Sure. Auditions for that one will be in August.
And how many cast members do you look for in that particular instance?
Is 10 cast members, 5 men and 5 women. That one is also, anyone who's familiar with the story knows there's lots of fun dialects to work with in that one. I'm hoping to be able to bring in a dialect coach to help with all of the dialects and accents for all the characters in that show.
Have you had any problem recruiting actors?
This year was a little bit touchy, but generally no. I think that we've had turnout most of the time, especially for well-recognizable shows that people really want to do, or playwrights that people really appreciate, I think are the ones that draw the most actors out.
Well, I can tell anyone that's interested. I've done it 4 times, although only one of them was a full-fledged big production that required 6 or 8 weeks of rehearsal. But it's fun to do. It truly is fun to do. But it's time consuming.
It is a lot of fun. It's a big commitment. It is a time commitment. Our actors commit about 100 hours for each production. And now that's not to say that everyone is at rehearsal every single night, because we don't want to call people to just sit at the theater. But it is about 100 hours of rehearsal, and the people who do it just love it. They love to be there, and I love it that they love to be there.
All right, so I've saved
what we're here for.
I've saved the toughest for the end. How is Pit and Balcony doing funding wise?
Well, yeah, you did save the toughest for the end there. We were lucky to be the recipients of a couple of generous bequests about a year ago.
Yeah.
That has kind of helped us make the decisions that we've made to be able to produce this year. Every single one of our productions has been profitable this year, which is surprised all of us.
That's wonderful. That's fabulous.
Now, that's not to say that, we're rolling in it. We're still a nonprofit. We're still seeing, we're still an arts organization that relies heavily on our donor base and our sponsors. And we just have a really great community who has helped. So we're going to be feeling this for a few more years.
Yeah.
But I have no doubt that we will recover.
How can someone find out more information?
www.pitandbalconytheatre with an RE.com.
Yeah.
Is
Must
our
be the
website.
thing around here. The theaters are all RE
Yeah.
around here.
Yep.
Yeah.
We also are very active on Facebook and Instagram. And so those are the three places that you're going to be able to find the most information most regularly.
Very good. Well, Amy, listen, thanks for spending a little time with us. We get a little closer down into August when you start casting. I'll have to do this again.
Yeah, that sounds great. Art, thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.
Amy Spatafor, she is the managing director of Pit and Balcony, and glad to hear they're on the upswing as it goes. We'll take our last break, be back to close out and move on to the farm show after these notes.
It's been a challenging year, and Consumers Energy knows asking for help can be hard, but finding it doesn't have to be. If you need help with your energy and other bills, call 211 or visit mi211.org for access to the help you need.
I want to tell you about a great opportunity for seniors 60 and older. The Saginaw County Commission on Aging is holding free virtual Tai Chi classes every Monday and Wednesday via Zoom. Tai Chi is a very gentle stress and anxiety reducer. It helps increase flexibility and balance. So if you're interested in meeting new friends in a fun and friendly social environment and with and all of its health benefits a try, give Saginaw County Commission on Aging a call to reserve your space. Classes will be virtual until social distancing requirements can be relaxed. If interested, call Carol at 989-790-3289 for more information. That's 790-3289. RSVP is required for Zoom login information. For free virtual Tai Chi classes with the Saginaw County Commission on Aging.
Hey, it's me. I lost my job and I've just been having a really hard time lately. Starting to worry about myself. I found this app, though, called the How We Reach coaching tool, and it's helping me reach out to my friends for support. Anyway, I was hoping maybe you could come over after your shift. I just need someone to be with me right now and help me sort out what to do next. Let me know, okay? All right, thanks.
Visit reach.gov to download the tool today.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty deadly. Your symptoms can mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Connect with your favorite radio shows through contests, social media, and podcasts. Create custom alarms with your favorite radio stations, all free with the radio.com app.
The Focus Show on WSGW, brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply. 1959.
All right, that's going to do it for today. We will be back tomorrow again. We will be on remote tomorrow at the McDonald's restaurant, 510 South Michigan Avenue. A fundraising effort will take place all day as the owner, Sean Saputo, will donate 50% of sales to the recovery fund set up for the 2 Michigan Army National Guard soldiers injured recently in a training exercise. 2 soldiers are assigned to the Bravo Company in Saginaw, the Buena Vista area. The owner of the McDonald's, Sean Saputo, is a Michigan Army National Guard veteran. Look forward to talking to him. Terry Henny's Farm Show is next here on WSGW.
United Financial Credit Union wants to help give you a fresh start this year with our balance transfer loan. With rates as low as 4.99% APR, it's the perfect time to bring your high rate loan balances to us, and we will help you consolidate them into our low rate balance transfer loan. We're here to help you improve your financial health with credit report reviews, balance transfer loans, financial counseling, credit rebuilding options, and so much more. Call, click, or stop in to transfer our balance transfer loan today and receive a gift card of your choice. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to switch your accounts and join today. Visit our website for details.
APR equals annual percentage rate. Some restrictions may apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Valley community.
Is more than protection. It's a bridge to better days. The path back to celebrations with family. Nights out on the town with friends. Game days with your favorite sports teams. And the thrill of live concerts. But until we can all get the COVID-19 vaccine and build, which will take time, we all need to continue to stay careful because Michigan's recovery is depending on you, and so are your family, friends, and neighbors. So even after you're vaccinated, wear a mask, avoid large gatherings, and social distance. One day in the near future, we will all be able to put this pandemic behind us. But until then, spread hope, not COVID. Learn more at michigan.gov/coronavirus. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card. And most high interest rates credit cards charge is a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Here's what you can do. Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream and pay off those credit card balances. You can get a loan from $5,000 to $100,000. The process is all online. You never have to leave the house, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 17% APR, but with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.95% APR with AutoPay.
Now I can pay off my high interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate. Thanks, Lightstream.
Want an even lower interest rate? Apply today at lightstream.com/news and get an additional interest discount. That's lightstream.com/news for an additional discount. Lightstream.com/news.
Subject to credit approval. Rate includes 0.5% auto pay discount. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/news for more information.
Mostly sunny. Good morning to you. A little bit of haze out there, but for the most part, it is just a very nice day. We do have an east breeze, about 12 miles per hour, so a little bit breezier than what we have seen, and coming out of the east, which signifies that we do have a low pressure system that's coming a little bit closer to us. Currently, it's over Iowa. We're just going to keep our eye on it because over the next 24 hours or so, we are going to see a little bit better chance of some precipitation around these parts. We didn't really pick up much at all overnight last night. We'll get into that in a second. 69 degrees with that east breeze at 12. Falling barometric pressure at 29.76. Again, signifying the approach of that low. Here at Radio Center, we're looking at 70. Downtown Midland is at 69. Downtown Bay City is looking at 70 degrees as well. A little bit of light rain over on the west side of the state. Benton Harbor at 65 degrees is reporting some precipitation, mostly cloudy in Muskegon. Ludington looking at some breaks in the clouds and a little bit more in the way of sun. And then you get up north, way up north. Well, actually not way up north. Traverse City has light rain this hour, 65. Then you get up into the Upper Peninsula. There's clouds around there. Escanaba, it is raining right now. Matter of fact, I think overnight they picked up right around a half, 2/3 of an inch of rain in the Escanaba area. Central and western portions of the UP did pick up the most of the precipitation that had been reported. And we saw a number of reporting stations anywhere from 1/3 of an inch to just under 2/3 of an inch up there. Here in our immediate area, there were a couple of spots that did report 1/10 of an inch overnight. All I really felt was about 4 drops on my forehead, and that was about it. Last night, about 9:30, 9:45. Heat units, we continue to pick up those base 42 and base 50 growing degrees. Just to kind of give you an idea, a year ago, let me see here, in the immediate Saginaw area, we were looking at some base 50 growing degrees of 28. That was a year ago. As of 7 o'clock this morning, 89 here. Again, base 50, that means corn and soybeans. They have the opportunity to grow. The heat units are there. As far as the base 42s, and this is something that Jerry Samolsky and a lot of landscapers operate with, a year ago in the immediate Saginaw area, 119. But just to kind of give you an idea, usually here in Saginaw, we have a few more units than in most cases the East Central region. Just to kind of give you an idea, Frankenmuth right now is 184. Saginaw is 197. The Kindy area over in Michigan's Thumb is 141. McBain is 121. Standish is 115. So that kind of gives you an idea. But like Standish a year ago, base 42, 54. And as I just said, 115 this year. So double and in some cases quadruple what we have seen over the last year in comparison as far as those growing degrees. Soil temperatures continue to work their way up. We have seen a number of soil temperature averages over a 24-hour period coming real close to 50 degrees. And again, that means there's a whole lot of stuff going on in that dirt, good stuff and bad stuff. And again, we'll be touching more on all of that as we go through the broadcast today. What are we looking for? We should make it up to about 78 for a high today. We tied a record in Saginaw yesterday. Flint broke a record yesterday as far as heat is concerned. And I'm pretty certain we're going to break the record for today, because the record for today is 74. And that was set back in 1931 here in the Great Lakes Bay region. And 76 is the high down in the Flint area. That was set in 1991. So I don't think there's any question, if we continue to get hazy sun or just whatever, we should be a lot warmer than 74, 75, 76 degrees by the time we're all done. Scattered showers around tonight. They'll start to pick up a little bit in coverage close to sunset tonight. I think after about 4 o'clock this afternoon, your back porch could get maybe a sprinkle or two, and that's going to be about it. This precipitation is very widely scattered. It's not a good overall rain. And what we have been seeing is even over the next 24 to 36 hours, we're not really looking at a lot of coverage on this precipitation. And whatever you do get could very possibly be only 1/4 of an inch. Maybe some of you could pick up as much as 3/4 of an inch, but I think that's going to be the exception and not the rule. Tomorrow, scattered precipitation and clouds early. Sun as we go through the day, especially a chance of some sunshine. But then later on tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, the rain shower activity is once again going to move in. A low tonight of 57, a high tomorrow of 70, so a little bit cooler, 50 for a low tomorrow night. Then Saturday, still a chance of some showers around. I think the best chance is once again going to be later in the day and the evening hours on Saturday. 71 for a high, 49 for a low. Then on Sunday, we'll still have a chance of some precipitation around. It looks as though a little bit cooler, probably 63, 64 degrees for a high on Sunday, 48, 49 for a low on Sunday night. So that's not all bad. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right now, to me, it looks like partly cloudy all 3 days with temperatures 65 on Monday, 58 on Tuesday, and 55 on Wednesday. Nighttime lows, which are going to be the key. Tuesday and Wednesday night appear to be in that 35 to 39 degree category. And that's average. Actually, it's still above average. 53 is where we should be this time of the year in the afternoon, and 33 at night. Sun will set this evening at 8:12, rise tomorrow morning at 7:03. As I said before, more on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Rick Hollister standing by to give us some quotes of what's going on our markets. He'll be along in just a second. But we want to remind you that the weather forecast has been brought to you by the folks from Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment. They want to remind you that Farmall tractor from Case IH will handle just about anything you want done. Yeah, your to-do list, well, hauling, mowing, loading, towing, and then some, it's all covered. You can take care of it with the horsepower of a Farmall tractor, anywhere from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments. Check them out today at Weiss Equipment, 450 North Main, across from Kroger and Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. Rick Hollister, what's going on the board right now?
Good morning, Terry. Hey, we are picking this corn market right back up toward the highs that we traded last week going into our big end of March reports. And I think in preparation going into tomorrow's supply and demand report. So at the moment, old crop corn's up 15 to 17, new crop corn's up 8. We've had a good export sales week again on corn, but especially on sorghum. Not so much on soybeans. Soybeans are only up 3 to 5 at the moment. China actually canceled soybeans for the week in favor of replacing those coming out of Brazil. We've expected that, so it's just a matter as we go along of how many we see as the spring progresses and Brazil's deeper into their harvest and their export sales. So kind of a mixed bag, but corn and wheat both higher. Feed grain demand and around the world seems to be good. Prices are hanging in at very high levels around the world. So a little weaker U.S. dollar actually helps us as well. So we're picking up, especially the old crop corn. Wheat's up 12 to 13 today as well. So trying to get back to the highs we traded last week around our planting intentions report in corn, and feeling like we're on pretty solid ground here, unless tomorrow's report tells us something different.
So what are we looking at right now, price-wise?
At Hemlock for corn for April is at $5.52. New crop for fall delivery at $4.48. Old crop soybeans at $13.93. New crop beans at $12.23. Old crop red wheat is $5.97. The new crop red wheat for July or August delivery at $5.82. Old crop white wheat at $6.06, and the new crop white at $5.92.
Rick Hollister, always good to talk. You take care. Have a great day, okay?
All right, thanks.
You
too, Barry.
betcha. A little bit more as far as what's going on in Chicago. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer has the latest for us. The market report brought to you by the folks at Michigan's John Deere dealership. That's Bader and Sons Company. If you're a farmer, construction, or landscape company and you're working in tight spaces, why don't you think about the line of John Deere compact construction equipment? We're talking skid steers, track and wheel loaders, compact excavators. You want a demo? Good, you can. All you got to do is stop by the Linwood location in beautiful downtown Crump, and I can't think of a better day to do it than right now. Or go to greentractors.com and try out tough compact equipment that's designed for small spaces. And the market report brought to you by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts, new parts for old tractors. We've been talking about this all the way along, and it's amazing how many folks fret and worry each and every day. I can't get that tractor to work, or I want to show it, and I really want to make it look nice this summer. You can do that. Dial this up, 800-234-3280, or go to the website, steinertractor.com. New parts for old tractors, that's what they are all about. Doug Klein, good morning.
Good morning.
What do we got now?
Well, we got a new high on the December corn, so that's kind of interesting. Dollar's heading down, but really the plays corn and wheat today. They're going up. And no big losers other than that. So here's your numbers. The May corn is $5.77.5, up 17 cents. December corn, $4.9325, up 7 3/4. The May soybeans, $14.11.5, up 2 3/4. November soybeans, $12.7325, up 2 1/2. The May wheat is $6.2725, up 11 cents, and December wheat $6.34 3/4, up 11 1/4. Crude oil's not really doing anything. $59.49, down 28 cents. Heating oil is $180.5. That's down half a penny. Gasoline $195.65. That's up a half a penny. Natural gas is $251.70. That's down 0.3 of a penny. Canadian dollar, US dollar, gets you $1.2579 at the border. That's down 28 ticks. The yen is at 109.25, down 59 ticks. The euro's at 119.02, up 32 ticks. The dollar's at 92.14. That's down 31 ticks. Gold's at 17.53.10, up $13. Silver's at 25.49, up 24.5 cents. Platinum's at 12.33.30. It's up $4.
All righty.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good one, Doug.
Thanks. You too.
You bet. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency, where they want you to be prepared. Yeah, it's good advice. Good advice for farmers. Good advice for each and every one of us. But obviously, when you're in the crop insurance business, you know that farmers need to know about all these unknown events that could be happening. And now is the time to be talking to the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency, because as that crop begins to grow a little bit, you're going to want to make sure it's protected from the weather. 800-345-7247. That's the number. Or you can try the Reese number. That's 989-868-4722. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency is licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. Their agents can be reached directly on their cell phones for questions or emergencies. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Along with me, I have Michael Huftaling with PC Ag Solutions. Mike, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Terry. I'm doing well.
Well, with weather like this, I would hope you're doing well.
It's been a beautiful stretch now. Hoping to get a little shower. We don't need a lot, but a little break would be nice.
You know, it would really be nice if we could get a nice shower, and it would really be nice if we could make sure that our equipment is running efficiently this time of the year, because you and I both know one of these days you're going to want to get things done, and you can't do it because Mother Nature will allow you to, but your equipment won't.
Yeah, Terry, that's the biggest story right now this spring, is trying to get all the planters and all the auto steer and all the sprayers and spreaders ready to go to the field. And we've been struggling because we can't get parts from our suppliers. Just about every brand of equipment, whether it's John Deere or Case or Trimble or Ag Leader or Precision Planting, everybody's struggling with shortages of product.
So at this stage of the game, your technological advice, I guess I could call it, really comes into play, because in some cases you might have to make do with what you've got.
Yeah, we've had to Band-Aid a lot of things together already this spring. Guys spreading fertilizer on wheat and some early sugar beet planting, and the things that they ordered, the technology wasn't there, or things break, and we've had to make do and steal parts from neighbors and steal parts from other dealers across the country, and it's a very challenging situation we're in right now.
We keep hearing a lot about infrastructure, and we keep hearing a lot about broadband, and especially in rural areas, farmers really get rolled up into this, the broadband. There are some technological concerns out there right now, especially in your business.
Yeah, for sure. One of the biggest struggles is all the data we're trying to manage in the tractor cab, and then try to transport that data up to the cloud or back to our home offices so we can look at it and analyze it. And the pipelines here in rural America just aren't big enough to handle the data that's out there. And I'm hopeful that it'll get easier as the years go on, but I've been saying that for too long. And the pipes get bigger to transport the data, but the data sets keep getting larger. There's more and more technology in our tractor cabs, and more technology means more data.
And I know that you've attended a lot of meetings over the past several months where that concern has been addressed. Are we on any kind of schedule, so to speak, where it looks like maybe there might be a little light at the end of the tunnel?
Schedule. There's a lot of schedules. I quit hoping recently. I just said, it'll happen when it happens. I get my hopes up that, we're going to have 5G or like the Starlink satellites, we'll have solved some of these problems, but we keep missing schedules. And, the right back to that same story, COVID caused shortages and trade caused shortages, and, just the technology that we want to implement, we can't get the parts to do it with.
I guess you're pretty fortunate. The folks that you work with and are involved with your business seem to be moving ahead and taking care of business. So when they deal with folks like you and your business, farmers can have confidence in knowing that they are going to get the best for what's available, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Our biggest mission is to make sure everybody's prepared, make sure everybody's aware, even if it is a bad situation. Let's be prepared and proactive. And we've reached out to our entire customer base several times this spring to make sure you're ready. Make sure you've got all the parts you need. Make sure you've got all your software updated. Make sure you're ready to go. Don't call the day you're going to be there, because it's going to complicate things and you might have to wait a day. Even if Mother Nature's ready, the technology might not be.
There you go. Mike, always good to talk. Hey, we really appreciate you taking time. I know it's really busy for you right now. We'll talk again soon, okay?
Hey, thanks, Terry. Have a great day.
You too. Mike Huff-Tailing. Let's slide over to Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville right now. Jerry Samalski joining me. Jerry, the plant of the week has got to be loving this weather.
We're going to kind of go back to an earlier plan of the week, and I just want to bring back those bulbs. Bulbs are just, you plant them in the fall, but you see them now. And we'll probably remind you in the fall when it's planting time. But, that just brings some great spring color. The colors are so bright on daffodils, tulips, hyacinths, and crocus. The hyacinths have a great fragrance. And again, so many things that we're just looking for color right now and can't wait to get it out there. So let's start thinking about fall bulbs and put it in your calendar in October, late September and October, to start getting those bulbs out and get them in the ground, and you'll enjoy them next spring. Because again, after all these winters, we always look for that first color, and it just brightens our day.
It sure does. Jerry, you take care. And your hours at the nursery, what's the latest?
We're here 8 till 5 and 9 to 2 Saturdays.
All righty. You take care. Have a good one, Jerry.
You betcha.
All righty. Steve Anderson joins us in a moment.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, Fireplace Doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Let's stop by over to Baird & Company right now. Steve Anderson is joining me this morning. Steve, what are the folks in New York doing to us right now?
Well, welcome aboard. We've got kind of a mixed market. The Dow Jones Industrial Average happens to be down 21 points, putting it at 33,423. Volume there is 309 million shares. The NASDAQ, however, is up 126, putting it at 13,815. And that's on volume of 351 million shares. And just for the interest in it, the S&P 500 is up about 12 also. So more indices going up than down. Locally, though, our stocks have a downward cast. We've got Caterpillar 229.16 down 1 1/4. Deere 372.51 down 228. CMS 60.69 down 45. Dow is 63.39 down 60. DuPont 75.17 down 43. Corteva 46.79 up 4. GM 59.90, that one's down 93. You've got Trinzio at 63 even, down 85. Walmart 140 even, up 20. Home Depot is 314.29, up 182. Huntington Banks 16 even, up down 14. TCF 47.35, down 37, and AT&T is down 29 at 30.12. So got a little more red than green today, but the indices are up.
There we go. Steve Anderson, thank you very much. You take care. Have a good day. All righty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a yield monitor in your combine? Do you print off a pretty picture every year, but you don't know what to do with it? Why don't you have PC Ag Solutions analyze your data to help you make profitable decisions for the upcoming season? We can help you analyze your data from your planter, sprayer, or combine and compare it to your soil types and nutrient availability. Anything from the planting date to your speed, population, and variety to elevation, drainage, and in-season applications. We can help you make the most profitable decision on your farm. Call us today, 989-868-4444. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call today for a quote. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we join radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Biden has just begun speaking, announcing his first executive actions on gun control. Vice President Harris went first in the Rose Garden.
I have fought my entire career to end this violence and to pass reasonable gun safety laws.
White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Today's actions are limited in the sense that there'll be regulations, not